Hey everyone, welcome back for more Reddit stories. Today we have a creepy story from the Let's Not Meet subreddit. As usual, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's go. Creepy man at Walmart. Let's never meet again. Before we start, judge me all you want, but I know I can be a bit stupid. It's only because I don't like to force myself to live on edge because of the sick people in this world. I live my life as freely and fearfully as I possibly can. At the time of the story, I was 23. My birthday just passed the 29th of November, making me 24 now. I'm only 5'2" and about 170 to 180 pounds. I'm strong enough to help move furniture, but not strong enough to defend myself the way I would like. You would think, as someone who survived an attempted sexual assault, I would learn some self defense, but I've lost a lot of motivation and self worth since. The abusive relationship really made it worse. That's beside the point. So, to start, I won't get into major details, but I had just moved to Jackson, Tennessee from Miami, Florida, because I had just gotten out of an extremely physically, emotionally, and mentally abusive relationship that lasted 3 years. About some time in June, my current boyfriend and I had been doing some trips pretty much every weekend. We would visit a new hiking place or waterfall area. Although there isn't a nightlife, Tennessee is amazingly beautiful. We went to this place called Narrows of the Harpeth. This was one of the underwhelming places we've been, but still relaxing. After we found a cool place to sit and swim after hiking for 2 hours, a few shots and one blunt later, it was time to make the out trip back to Jackson. I put my shoes on and I slipped my dress back on, which is a little bit above the knee length. Like if I bent too forward, my little bum bum would be on display. I own my body and sexuality, so showing some skin never really bothers me, and I don't really think about it because I just expect people to respect me as I respect them and the way they dress. Anyways, on the way back to the car, I, being the tipsy dumbass I am, managed to trip and fall and scrape my leg pretty badly. It's actually scarred now. Anyways, I tell my boyfriend we need to go to Walmart once back in Jackson so I could thoroughly clean my wound with hydrogen peroxide and neosporin. My boyfriend says, okay. An hour later, we are at Walmart. Mind you, it's only about 9 p.m. going on 10 p.m. Not late by any means. We get what I need, but because I'm still tipsy and pretty high from the blunt I finished in the car ride home, I get distracted so easily and remember that my boyfriend got me the wrong size case for my iPhone 11 Pro. He got the Max instead of just the Pro. I wanted an idea of what I could trade it for, and he wanted to look at some of the games as well as a gaming PC for me. So I am happily tipsy and excited to find a new case, which if you've ever been to Walmart, the cases are never in order and often causes you to bend down to look at things. There was a man looking at the cases and I just said, excuse me, sorry, can I look at those cases you are standing in front of? He just looked at me with a blank yet dirty look, nodded and stepped over. As I'm happily looking through the shelf about 5 minutes in, and this lady and what I assume are her two children approaches me. Mind you, we are in the middle of a pandemic and I'm thrown off by how close she is to me, especially with her baby that looks no older than 9 months. I step back and she just grabs my arm and says, oh my god, wow, I haven't seen you in forever. Look at that hair, wow. And her grip tightens. At this point, my heart is racing, my face gets so hot, and I am visibly scared. That's when my boyfriend says, everything okay, babe? He looks at me equally concerned. I'm thinking to myself, does this lady know my mom? Who is she? Is she an old family friend I don't remember? Mind you, I'm originally from Ohio and we have family here, but I don't know any of my family that lives in Tennessee. My mom loves to brag about her kids, so I'm trying to shake this weird feeling, but her daughter keeps looking behind me. So I go to turn around and she goes, no, don't turn around, walk with me, please, trust me. I don't know why, but I felt she was being genuine and I just followed her. We step over to the side by the baby clothes, which is still in front of the electronics, and she says, baby, I'm so sorry to scare you, but there are 3 men surrounding you. They went by laptops, talked, and then I noticed the guy taking photos and videos of you while you bent over looking at the cases. The other man was a tall guy next to you, and I don't know where the third man went. All I can remember is this high-pitching ringing in my ears, my stomach flipped, and I felt like I was going to be sick. I never knew what people meant when they say everything slowed down. But in that moment, everything moved in slow motion, and I was freaked out to the point that I have no clue what she said after. It was as if I was blacked out for a moment and then quickly came to realization that the family and my boyfriend were looking at me visibly panicked. I turned around and there he was. He is Hispanic, shorter than maybe about 5'1", but he was very much built. Also looked to be about 40. The other man, who was white, about maybe in his 40s, was about 5'11". I will never forget that blank rage in that man's Hispanic man's eyes. Like his first meal in 5 days had been stolen from him and he was ready to kill in order to have it back. That's when I saw the white man walk over to him. They said something, both looked at me, looked back at each other, said something else, and started to walk slowly towards us. At that point, we all turned and headed for the registers, and that's when I thanked my lucky star because there were about 3 cops at the front of the store. By the time I rudely pushed past people to get to self checkout, with tears in my eyes and frantically repeating, "Excuse me," to anyone who got in front of me, I looked back and saw them just standing there with the third guy this time. My heart sank and I wanted to pass out at the moment. I guess it looked like I was going up to the cops because they hightailed it once they saw me get close to the cops. Me being high as shit and being a black woman, I wasn't going to chance the cops turning this around on me because I was simply stoned and tipsy. My only thought was, get to the car, get to the gun, don't stop, run. My boyfriend said he could barely keep up with me. At one point, I had grabbed his hand so tight he had to force the grip off because it felt like I was going to crush his hands. And before anyone bashed my boyfriend, I didn't expect a man to be my savior. Also, he isn't the angry confrontational type. He's very calm and level-headed. He wouldn't even hurt a fly unless I asked him to get rid of it for whatever reason. I just knew I was the target and I am putting him at risk. I knew they could easily jump him and one of them could overpower me after taking him out. I probably looked crazed, half walking and running past everyone, but I didn't care. I wasn't going to become another missing sister. We made it to the car safely and peeled out of there. I've never seen him drive so fast as he is beyond careful and would never speed. We sat at a Sonic for about an hour to make sure we weren't being followed. We recounted everything that happened. I just couldn't believe we both were too tipsy to notice that I had become prey in somewhere as simple as a Walmart. I've never felt so stupid and irresponsible in my life. I never want to experience that fear and panic in my life again. I didn't even get the chance to thank the lady who pretty much saved us. Sometimes we talk about it. What if the lady didn't see what that guy was doing? Even if we caught on, there were 3 and we only saw 2 at first. I'm 5'2" and 170 pounds and I think of the horrors. That night I had a nightmare that the man attacked us in the parking lot. Creepiest part of the dream was the third man shoved me in the trunk. I remember looking up and all I could see was a featureless face. I woke up in tears that night, realizing I didn't get a clear look at the third guy's face. It took me nearly a month to enter a Walmart again, since I have moved states and have only been to Walmart once since moving here. So, to the creepy man that stalked me, upskirted me, and basically followed me even when they knew I was around other people, I genuinely hope we never meet again, because the gun I carry on my person now has 3 beautiful hollows that would enjoy meeting you all. So that was the story for today's video. A thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more videos, check out my channel. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.